Let's continue with our Chapter 3 QuickBooks Online video lecture. Our stopping point was how to add in a product and or a service. So we created a service. The name is Transport. It's up under our pet care category. There's a description of the type of service, and the sales rate for this service is going to be $8 per hour. Okay, so I'm going back to the textbook ebook, page 139. We are in section 3.4. We've done the actual service. We've done the new category. So this is showing you how to do the actual steps that we just went through to create that new service. So we've done all of those steps. And now we're going to actually run a report from our product and service screen. So I'm going to go back to the QuickBooks software. So under our product and services, we're now looking for the More button. And let's see, let me do this. Okay, so there are more buttons in here in the top right-hand corner. And let's see if we still see that in our same slide here. There it is. So click on the More button, then click to where it says Run Report. And as of right now, we only have this one product and service, which is our pet care transport. It gives the description and the actual rate for this type of service. So we actually do have a little information now shown on our product and service report. So if you were to have to send this report to me, typically what you want to do for the actual report, and excuse me, my mouse keeps getting me lost here. Come on back up. So we want to save it as a PDF file. So let me just go back real quick. So again, if we were doing the product and service list, a few different ways of doing that. We can go here, we can click where it says product and services. I'm gonna click on the More button to run the report. And once the report is here, you can click on the print button and then click as save as a PDF. And once you have the PDF file saved, then you just download that PDF file to the Canvas site. Okay? So next, under our instructions for Chapter 3, we'll look at how do we enter transactions in the QuickBooks Online software. And so one way that can be done is by doing a journal entry. So let me go back to the QuickBooks software. I want to make sure I'm all the way up at the top. Or let me just check here by hitting the plus new button, or from the back to report list here. I want to click that back to report list and go back to my gear icon. And I thought I saw a place where I can do my journal entries. I didn't see that. Hold on. Oh, under my product service list report. Let's try that again. Let's click here. Product and service list report. Because I don't see that plus new button here. But there's always more than one way to get to do something different. So I'm just going to go back to my dashboard. And under, so the dashboard can always be your, if you will, your savings. All back to your dashboard. And we want to do actual journal entries. And again, we're all learning this kind of on the go with the online version because it's a little different than the desktop. So let me just do a quick look here for my journal entries. Let me go to my reports. Because the plus new button that they keep referencing in your textbook, I don't see it on this screen, but let me do this. If I go to my chart of accounts, nah, we don't want that either. Okay, so we're going to quickly on the little search icon, and I'm going to type in journal, create journal entry. So if you ever stuck on something, just that simple, you can use the help button and just type in what you're looking for, and it will take you to that section. So now we actually are the section where we can create a journal entry, and we see the screen here because I didn't really see this what they're showing me here. But if we keep going, this is the screen to do an actual journal entry as it's shown here. So once you determine the accounts involved, you would indicate if the account should be debited. The debit always goes first, then the account will be credited and the amount of the transaction, and click on the save button. So let's say we're going to do an actual journal entry. So not yet, we're not going to do an actual journal entry. Alrighty, so next we're going to take a look at our expenses. So I'm going to go back to the QuickBooks software. I'm going to close out of the journal screen. Do you want to leave without saving? We'll say yes. We didn't really do anything. We just take a look at it. And so I'll go to my expense screen and click on the expenses. And this is showing, sample of the spending from last month. And we want to add in a payee under our expenses. So let me go back to the expenses again. But we're not doing a vendor, so we'll click on the expenses and we'll click where it says to add expenses manually. So click where it says to add expenses manually. So we're going to add in the new payee, which is going to be Bachachi Supplies. Okay, I guess we'll go with that. So where it says payee, we'll click add new. And for the vendor display name, again, I'll type that in like Bachachi Supplies. All right. That's the name. The type should be vendor. So the contact type is vendor. Okay. And then it says to select the save button. We just put in the vendor name, type is vendor. So we'll click on the save button. Next, we're going to put in the payment account, which should be 2100 Visa credit card. So in our payment method, we're going to choose the credit card. The date should be 1/1 of 2023. And that's not the date. So we want 01/01/2023. And I'm sure at the payment account, they want the Visa. I actually have a Discover credit card that I created. So I have my Discover credit card here. The date, payment method, the category should be 5024 for office supplies and software. So where it says category, if I put in 5024, yep, that will come up automatically. Let me see again that name there. It's going to be office supplies and software, which is here. So I'm going to choose that category, office supplies and software. Description should be office supplies. And I misspelled that word. That's okay. The amount is going to be, I believe, for $58. That is the amount. And they mention a memo of supplies. We can skip that for right now and then click on the save button. So I'll click on save button. And so now that transaction has been saved to our software. So now they're saying the menu bar across the bottom of the window changes and a new menu option. And they want us to select the more button. So let's see if that button is there. There it is. I'm going to click on the more button. And they told us to select the transaction journal. So that will show us the actual transaction that we've had so far, which is the expense to add in the purchase of those office supplies. And here is just a screenshot of what it should look like. And we've just seen that from the QuickBooks software. Okay, so what they're saying here to enter transaction, three different options. We can use the navigational bar. We can click on the plus new icon or the gear icon and choose where it says recurring transaction. For recurring transaction, meaning that those transactions are ones that are going to occur maybe every month, and we can save time by recording those in the QuickBooks system. Okay. Section 3.6 discusses different types of transaction for banking, customers, vendors, etc. So I'm going to go on to section 3.7, and we'll now look at some banking transactions. So I'm going to go back to my screens. I'll go to banking and click on the banking icon. And we're not going to connect any accounts. Let me click where it says to upload transaction. This should be the manual. Let me see. Hope it's not trying to make me go online and do something. Yeah, so we're not really going to do this because this is to import transaction. And I'm going to stop this video, go right at the 15-minute mark, and come back with a third video for chapter